It's copy critique time. This one is called Who the F Actually Goes to Arby's, which was actually something that I talked about on a coaching call I did, and then it looks like old Kevin Noble here wrote an email about it, which is fantastic. I genuinely am curious. I know that Arby's exists. I know they have ads. I know that they love the meats, and they have the meats, but I don't know anybody who goes there. So I'm interested to read this email because I haven't read it yet. So let's critique this SOB and make it better. Subject line, who the F actually goes to Arby's? I like that. Second subject line, preview text, I know this may be a controversial take. That's a good little teaser. But I need to know who is actually eating the meats. Okay, so I don't like assuming people read the subject line. This actually annoys me, to be honest. I like to restate whatever it is, because there are people who have a subject line and then they go to the thing and then you have to go back to the subject line. Don't assume they read it. They may have just seen your name and opened because it's you. So I would, basically restate that. I'm curious who actually goes to Arby's. I need to know. Who is actually eating the meats? Same thing goes for Long John Silver's, White Castle, Sonic, and Dairy Queen. Who keeps these places in business? I need to know, especially Arby's. I mean, come on, the food, even the commercials. It looks like something your dirty uncle put together for lunch. You're taking a stance here. That's, if it's a true stance, go for it. But despite all that, these sons of bitches have managed to keep their doors open since 1964. For 60 years, this place has been slinging the meats. I mean, how else can you grow a fast food chain with a roast beef sandwich? I agree. Roast beef in general isn't something that entices me, but the thought of it being fast food roast beef just doesn't tickle my pickle. If people start moving toward chicken boom sandwich, they even have Jeek. I don't know what that means. This is confusing. If people start moving towards chicken boom chicken sandwich, I don't know what that means. This is confusing. Either get rid of it or, I don't know. They even have Greek gyros now. I think, are you still talking about Arby's? So here's confusion. The three things you look for to make copy better. Is anything confusing? Is anything unbelievable, like hard to believe? And is anything boring? This is confusing. Look, I'm not here to offend you if you're a fan, and guess what? They're onto something big. They sniff out the trends, and just like that, they switch up their game. Now, you might not think about roast beef as the same way as the latest tech everyone's into, but Arby's is smart. They're always updating their menu to satisfy the newest foodie blogger. Here's the kicker. Your business has to do the same dance. When trends change, you spin and twirl right along. Think of your website like an Arby's menu with less meats. Good little joke. Offer your visitors a little freebie. Opt in like the toy in a kid's meal when they pop by. This is the new strategy that accomplishes two essential steps in creating your sales funnel and making more sales. I'll expand more on those two things in my next email. Don't let your website turn into an old ghost town. Remember Quiznos. Make it a playground where everyone wants to hang. Good news for you, I can build you a website that's like the most popular hangout spot, complete and up to date with all cool new sales trends. It's easy peasy to get started. Just answer 3 quick questions and we'll get you set up. Okay, so first off, I would not say click here to be like Arby's. I would say click here, just make that call to action legitimately what it is. So click here to get your own website set up. Now, the thing that feels like it's missing here is this transition is what I call a hammer transition. It's a little abrupt from the story of Arby's into your own website. I feel like it needs a little bit of expanding. So you're saying, look, I'm not here to offend you if you're a fan. Guess what? They're onto something big. They sniff out the trends, and just like that, they switch up their game. So this is a little bit, and then now you may not think about roast beef the same way as the latest tech everyone's into, but Arby's is smart. They're always updating their menu to satisfy the newest foodie blogger. It just should be a little bit more like, I'm not here to offend you if you're a fan of Arby's. It's your right to get the meats. But there's something Arby's does that's interesting as a business. They understand trends, and they adapt their menu to meet the trends that are happening at this moment. They're always updating. For example, they update their menus regularly to satisfy whatever the newest foodie blogger is talking about. It may not seem like, you wouldn't think of Arby's as a revolutionary company who's on the cutting edge, but they are surprisingly on top of things. Here's the kicker, your business has to do. So it's more like, you have to do the same thing with your business. You have to make sure that you adapt to new trends as they arise. When trends change, you spin and twirl right along. Think of your website like an Arby's menu with less meats. This part also feels a little offer your visitors a little freebie, opt in like the toy and a kids meal when they pop by. This is the new strategy that accomplishes two. So it also is not a new strategy. I mean, offering a freebie. I feel like this is almost for another email or something, like, or the PS. One thing you should do is offer a freebie like a toy and a kids meal when people pop by. This strategy accomplishes two essential steps. I'll expand on it more in my next email. It just feels a little bit like a distraction here. And so I would move that down to the PS as a teaser for the next email rather than its own thing right here. And then don't let your website turn into a ghost town. Remember Quiznos. God, Quiznos had one sandwich that was absolutely unbelievable that I used to eat in college. Make it a playground where everyone wants to hang. Good news for you. I can build a website that's like the most popular hangout spot, complete and up to date with it. Okay. Yeah, so I think this is solid with that. I would take this and put it into my AI tool and put it in the copy coach and see what you can improve further with that. If you want to use that tool, go to www.emailgamechangers.com. You can test it out for $1. You have to put the www because the internet doesn't like me and it's messing with me at the moment. But also probably put the link down here below. But solid email overall, good concept to bring people in, interesting sort of story. Just make sure that your transition piece here, and this is where so many people struggle, make sure your transition really feels smooth and feels coherent and like it makes sense that you got to where you got to from where you started. You're building a bridge from the start of the story to buying a thing, and that bridge can't have potholes and, I mean, it definitely can't have a gap because then it's not a bridge, it's just a stupid thing that doesn't help people. So, hopefully that's helpful, and I'll see you guys next time.